You know, one of the most heartbreaking and inspiring stories at the same time for me this week was that of the USA women's gymnastics team. I don't know if you saw that in the news. It was phenomenal. It was heartbreaking. It was, I mean, like, for those who don't know, it was the story of the team doctor who sexually assaulted, I think it was like more than 150 young girls and young women who were athletes. And it was crazy. The judge was amazing in the trial, by the way. She was a judge, and she was just like, she's powerful. And this was the funny thing. This is where, you know, sometimes we do this as human beings, and it's part of social media culture in a way, I feel. People get distracted about what the issue is sometimes, and they start talking about something else. Because what this judge was doing is, she brought all the girls to the courtroom and said they have the ability to give an impact statement, which is normally what happens at sentencing. And she said she would allow any women who wanted to give an impact statement to make one. And I think it was more than 150 women came forward and they gave their impact statements. And it was funny because, like, people online, I saw people, mostly guys, who were going like, oh, why is this judge grandstanding? And well, look at her attitude, and a judge should be unbiased. And a judge, it's like, okay, first of all, it's a sentencing hearing. It's not the trial. The guy he pled guilty. The trial was over. This was a sentencing hearing, and that is more where a judge can tell you as the defendant, hey, this is what I feel about what you've done, and this is why I'm sentencing you the way I am. It is based in some sort of emotion, right? And it's tied to the law. And then people were like, oh, why can't she? And I'm just like, okay, also what? You want her to be nice to the guy? Is this the time to be like, hey, smile at him? Come on, he assaulted 150 women. It's hard for him. Come on, smile, lady. It's like, no. You know, and also it was a powerful moment. These girls got to come out, and it was a catharsis that you'd never get. He had to say sorry to them to their faces. They poured out their pain in that courtroom. People go to therapy for years and they never get that release, that experience. You know, I thought it was an amazing moment. I also think, because they gave him, she handed him a sentence of, I believe it was 175 years, 40 years to 175 years, and what I kept thinking about was the story of the enablers, you know? Like, in the story, it wasn't just that this guy assaulted 150 women plus. It was the fact that USA Gymnastics, the fact that the university where the girls were working through, the fact that there was a ranch that all the girls would go to for training. Every single person seemed to facilitate this. And every story seems to have the same theme, the enablers. Harvey Weinstein, everyone talks about the Harvey, but it's like, yeah, but who are the enablers? It's not the people who don't know that worry me, it's the people who do know and do nothing. The people who get told and then go, oh yeah, I don't, because now like the head of the university is like, look, I mean, maybe we could have been better, a few red flags were raised. It's like, no, you were told. A red flag is when you're at the beach and then they go like, maybe there's a shark in the water. That's a red flag. This is the shark going like, hey, I'm here. That's a very different thing. You can't be like, I should have seen the red flag. No, you should have seen the shark. They told you something was happening. And you ignored it over and over and over again. And then after that, people just go, I'm sorry. I should have seen what Harvey was doing. I should have seen what these men were doing. I should have seen what this doctor was doing. I should have, and I'm sorry. And it's like, that's it? You know what I would pitch? I would say they should have a law that if you are found to be an enabler, like they find that you willfully ignored messages or information about something that was being done to somebody, you should get a piece of their sentence, right? You get a piece of their sentence. Like like commission, because you're like their agent. They're like the superstar, and then they give you 10%. They'll be like, hey, here's all for the hard work, So you knew about Harvey, here's 10% of whatever he has to do and pay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because think about it, same thing with Bill O'Reilly. Fox News knew, and then they were like, okay, Bill O'Reilly, we'll pay some of them, but not other ones. But it's like, but you kept him. Harvey Weinstein's company, same thing. They're like, we'll keep you, but you pay your own sexual harassment. So you knew. I mean, sort of, you knew. That's why you had it in the contract. It's the same thing with these companies. It's like, you should say that. And I promise you, if they did that, you'd see how many people wouldn't be quick to be like, oh, I should have known. It'd be like, no, they'll know. If I could go to jail and you could go to jail, everyone could go to jail for enabling other people to do these things, you would be fighting to tell people. You'd be like, hey, someone's doing something. I'm going to the police. I'm going to the police first. I'm going to the police first. Get me to the police. Get me to the police. I don't want 10% of 175 years. What the hell is that? But still, man, congrats to those women. They were amazing. The statements they made were powerful. It was, yeah.